Good morning, children. So today we are going to start the next new chapter, gravitation. You already learned in the chapter 8 and 9 about the motion. Yes, no? So what causes motion? Applied force. If you apply the force, the object will be, the motion will happen. So we have learned the force is needed to change the speed or direction of the motion of an object also. You already learned force is needed to change the direction and speed of the object. So we know that all the planets, so we always observe that object dropped from, if I throw the ball on up, the ball will come automatically, it will come down. Why? Due to the force. What is the force? Visible force, is that or not? So high towards the earth. We already know the planets go around the sun. You already know the planets is revolving around the sun. And the moon goes around the earth. And these cases, there must be some force acting in the object. So what is the force acting in this? These all the conditions. So let's see the planets. The Sir Isaac Newton. You know about the Sir Isaac Newton. You already learned in the force Newton's law of motion. Isaac Newton's 3 laws of motions came to the pillar of the physics in that. So Isaac Newton grasps that the same force is responsible for all of this. What are this? All planets. How many planets are there? 8 planets evolving around the sun, and the force is applied to change the speed and direction of the object, and force is the main cause of the motion. Everything, some force are there, and what he come to know, they discuss that the force, this force is called as the gravitational force, means force of gravity. The earth as the gravitational force of, so every object in the universe is attracting to each other. What the Isaac Newton is saying, every object, if it is book here and my hand, this also is attracting to each other. This hand is attracting to book, the book is attracting to my hand. So every objects are attracting to each other. So in this chapter, we shall learn about the gravitation and universal law of gravitation, and we can discuss about the motion of object under the influence of gravitational force of the earth. And my question is there, Newton find out that all the objects are attracting to each other. Yes, no? Then why the collision is not happening between the earth, sun, and between the earth and moon? If all the objects are attracting to each other, the collision should happen there, no? So collision is not happening. They are revolving around there according to their orbit, according to their place. Now collision is not happening. So why? What is the reason behind that? Let's see. We already know that moon gets around the earth. An object we throw upward reaches a certain height and falls downward. Certain height it will reach up and again it will fall downwards. It is said that Newton was sitting under the tree. The story you already know what Newton was sitting under the tree. What happened? The apple fell on him, and apple made the thinking about that. This has made him to think about the force why. So he argued that each point of this orbit, means why the moon is not falling towards the earth, why earth is not falling towards the sun, what is the reason behind that? Moon, no. So there before if you are taking the thread, rotating that, the thread, if you are throwing, it will go in the straight line. Why? The force that causes this acceleration, means change in direction, involves the change in velocity or acceleration. If the body is moving in the constant velocity, you already learned in the chapter 9, if the body is moving in the constant velocity, the acceleration will always 0. If any changes in the velocity, the changes will be the acceleration will be there. Otherwise, no acceleration. So according to that, you can say the force is called the centripetal force. Meaning means center seeking. Means the In the absence of this, the circular path acting towards the center, due to the centripetal force acting on the center, the force, that's why the most of the planet are not colliding, they are revolving according to their orbits. So we'll see. And motion of the moon around the earth is due to the centripetal force. You can underline, the fill in the blanks will come. The motion of moon around the sun is due to the centripetal force. What is the centripetal force? The force is provided by the force of attraction of the earth. So if see, according to the third law of motion, what we learned, third law of motion, for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. For every action there is an equal and opposite reaction, he said. So that here what there, according to the second law, what for the force, the acceleration is inversely proportional to the mass. The mass of an apple is incredibly small compared to that of the earth. So in solar system, all the planets go around the sun. So way that above fact, the Newtons conclude that not only does the earth attracts an apple and the moon, but all the object in the universe, underline, but all the object in the universe attract each other. This force of attraction between the object is called gravitational force. He said, he conclude that all the objects in the universe are attracting with each other. That force of attraction is called gravitational force. That force of attraction is called gravitational force. Then he come to the concept of the law, universal law of gravitation. Every object in the universe, even I am standing here by due to the gravity. You are sitting. If you are sitting there means you are due to the gravity. If I throw the ball will comes down due to the gravity. All the force, the visible force of gravity. So every object, what is the universal Newton's law of gravitation? Universal law of gravitation states that every object in universe attracts every other object with a force which is proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. Suppose these two masses A and B, their distance between D. Then if I apply the force here I will apply the force. This force, these two forces are directly proportional to the product of the masses, means F directly proportional and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. Square of the distance between. According to the formula, F proportional to M1 and M2. What is the M1 and M2? M1 is the mass of the first object. M2 is the mass of the second object. This is M1. This is M2. M1 is the mass of the first object. M2 is the mass of the second object. So, M1 by M2 by R square or D square, distance or anything you can take. So, here, formula came here. F is equal to, we'll put the constant. G is the constant. This G is the universal constant, constant of proportion, universal gravitational constant G. So, what is the formula? Force is equal to G, M1, M2 by R square. G, what is the value? We find out the constant value of the G is 6.67 into 10 raised to minus 11. 6.67 into 10 raised to minus 11. What is the SI unit? Newton meter square per kg square. Newton meter square per kg square. So, G is the gravitational constant, universal gravitation constant. So, we will come to the point that in every object in the universe are attracted to each other. Even I are used, then every objects are attracted. That force, what is the force? That is directly proportional to the product. What is the product means? Into M1 into M2. The product of the masses of the object, and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. Square of the distance between them. Next, I want to write some points I written here. Universal characteristic of gravitational force. What are the characteristics of gravitational force? I will show here. You can see here. These are the universal law of gravitation force. I will read it now. Just you see that. And now I'll read it now. I'll explain you now one by one. So first, force at the distance. Force always attractive. The forces are always attractive. The force at the distance, equal and opposite, independent of intervening medium, independent of the presence of other object also, acts along the line joining the two centers of that object, and it's along the range force. And weakest force in nature. Which is the weakest force in nature? Gravitational force. So you know what other forces? Electrostatic force, muscular force, contact force, and non-contact forces you already learned in grade 8. So very weakest force in our this is gravitational force. Next, according to the Newtons, what is the according to the Newton is stating that every object in the universe attracted every other object with a certain force. With a certain force, every object in the universe are attracted with other object with a certain force. The force with which two objects attract each other. What is the force are attracting each other? Two objects are attracting each other. That force will call it as gravitational force. So I hope you're clear. What is the gravitational force? The force that which two objects are attract each other. That force will call it as gravitational force. So universal law of gravitation is given by Newton. So it is known as Newton's law of gravity. This universal law of gravitation is given by the Sir Isaac Newton. So we can call it as Newton's law of gravity. One other name. So once again I'll repeat what that stating that every object in the universe or attracts every other object with a force which is directly proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. Proportional to the square of the distance between them. Suppose so F, what is the formula here? We got F is equal to G M1 M2 by R square. What is the G? Constant. What is the constant G? Universal gravitational constant. So capital G. Small g is the acceleration due to gravity. Don't confuse in this chapter. Capital G, big G, capital G is the constant. Universal gravitational constant. So what is the M1 and M2? They are masses of the two objects. And what is the R square? The distance between the two objects. The square of the distance between the two objects. Okay, so now clear that state law, very important, universal law of gravitation. You want to by heart that. So next, moving to the, what is the, in your textbook they are given applications of that. So you can see that in your textbook. Importance of the universal law of gravitation. What are the importance behind the universal law of gravitation? Let's see one by one. The force that binds us to the earth. First point, And the universal law of gravitation is actually explained by the motion of the moon around the earth. Why they are not colliding? What is the force behind that? Centripetal force. And the tides due to the moon and the sun. So tides due to the moon and the sun. What are the importance of the universal law of gravitation? 3 points are there. Sorry, 4 points are there. You want to buy on. First point, the force that binds us to the earth, and motion of the moon around the earth, and motion of the planets around the sun, and the tides due to the moon and the sun. Okay, and say related to this formula, sums will come. Once example sums, they are already given here. You can go through that. Okay, children. So once again, I'll repeat that point what we discussed. What is the gravitational universe? Main important point this, the universal law of gravitation. We call it as who find the Sir Isaac Newton. So we called it as gravitational. Isaac Newton found this universal law of gravitation. So what is the stating that every object in the universe attracts every other object with a force that is directly proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. What is the formula? F is equal to G into M1 and M2 by R square. What is the G? Gravitational constant. What is the M1 and M2? The masses of the two objects. R square, the square of the distance between the two masses. I hope you clear the topic. Thank you, children. Thank you so much.